Our opening words this morning are by Reverend Gretchen Haley, who is minister in Fort Collins, Colorado. Forged in the fire of coming together. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? In these days, we find ourselves too often stuck with these questions on repeat. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? We grasp at signs and markers, articles of news and analysis, Facebook memes, and forwarded emails, as if the new zodiac capable of forecasting all that life may yet bring our way. As if we could prepare, as if life had ever made any promises of making sense or turning out the way we had thought. As if we are not also actors in this still unfolding story. For this hour, we gather to surrender to the mystery, to release ourselves from the needing to know, the yearning to have it all already figured out, and also the burden of believing we either have control of it all or none. Here in our songs and in our silence, our stories and our sharings, may we make space for a new breath, a new healing, a new possibility to take root. That is courage forged in the fire of our coming together and felt in the spirit that comes alive in this act of faith, that we believe still a new world is possible, that we are creating it already, here and now. This is actually a type of prayer, so it's called Into Greater Union with the Mysterious, and it was written by Reverend Joan Javier Duval. Spirit of life, mother of all, mystery beyond our understanding. Here we are, living, breathing creatures with minds that wander and hearts that feel awe. We face questions that we know can't be answered, and tragedies that we know can't be explained. May we find patience in all that is unanswered, and peace in all that will never be explained. Here we are, living, breathing creatures with open minds and tender hearts. May we hold ourselves with gentleness, with all that brings us worry and all that makes our hearts break. May the living, breathing creatures that we are feel the breath of life moving in us, moving through all things, bringing us into greater union with the mysterious universe of which we are a part. Blessed be and amen. Here we sit, living, breathing creatures. We face a mystery of questions that cannot be answered and tragedies that we cannot explain. How do we sit with that mystery? How do we sit with the never to be explained and find peace in it all, to find trust? Is it possible to sit with the mystery of our time, to not try to find an answer, a resolution, an explanation, but to just witness and experience the mystery? The mysterious joy of a child's face when they see small tulip greens pushing through the ground covered in soft, delicate snow. The mysterious way in which a person's face brightens as the days start to get longer. The mysterious silence of an evening walk. It is so easy to explain these feelings and mysteries away, but can we sit with the silence and just be in awe? Is it possible to sit with our own sense of wonder or our own sense of divine, our own sense of awe, and just be with it? In an age where answers to many of life's questions lay at our fingertips, or as closely to us as the nearest smart device, what would it be like to sit with the mystery? What would it feel like to sit and experience the joyous wonder brought forth from a mysterious circumstance? Can we focus on those feelings of warm and fuzzy delight? Can we exist in the anticipation of the moments before a surprise is revealed? Here we are, living, breathing creatures with open minds and tender hearts. May we hold ourselves with gentleness, with all that brings us worry and all that makes our heart break. Of course, this isn't always a time of joyful, delightful mystery, and mystery is not always joyful, warm, and fuzzy. There are times when our wonders and our concerns can outweigh all of the delight of not knowing. Perhaps it is most of the time that we struggle with the not knowing, of constantly looking for answers, solutions, fixes, and step ups. The mysterious agony of how we might overcome the challenges of our lives. So, how do we keep ourselves from this struggle? Is it possible to live with the mystery when the mystery is causing suffering? Is it possible to live with the unknown when all you can do is think of disaster? Reverend Gretchen Haley, UU minister in Fort Collins, Colorado, wrote the words of our opening this morning. And she stated, "What is going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do?" In these days, we find ourselves too often stuck with these questions on repeat. What's going to happen? Will everything be okay? What can I do? We grasp at signs and markers, articles of news and analysis, Facebook memes and forwarded emails, as if the new zodiac, capable of forecasting all that life may yet bring our way, as if we could prepare, as if life had ever made any promises of making sense or turning out the way we'd thought, as if we are not also actors in this story, in this still unfolding story. What I get from these words is not only a sense of sitting with the questions, sitting with the will everything be okay wonderings, and to stop grasping, stop needing, stop struggling to find a way to make things better and just do it. Just trust every moment, allowing the suffering to unfold, allowing the unknown to be named and witnessed, to pull it out of the dark, to experience it instead of struggling with it. Instead of focusing on certainty, instead of focusing on when, how, and why, let us just sit with the grief, the anxiety, the need to know, and be okay. Trust the mystery. Trust the grief. Trust the anxiety. Trust. I know that this is a lot, and I am not sure how to do it, but I think that this is where I need to be. I think this is where I will find peace, not in the ever constant downward spiral or in the good times, the upward spiral, the needing of answers, but in the pure and simple mindfulness of the mystery, the quiet mindfulness of knowing my struggles, of sitting with them, instead of seeking answers for them. The poet Rachel Snyder put it this way: surrender, give in, give over to something larger than yourself. Sink to the floor and cry and wail and acknowledge you're lost, confused, and afraid. Give in, give over to something wiser than yourself. Stop trying to work out solutions in your brain and let go of your desire to be in control, which, by the way, is a highly overrated position. Cry out. It's too hard, if that's the way it feels. Yell and scream. It's not fair, if that's the way it feels. When you're through kicking and screaming, just surrender. Stop strategizing. Stop running your life through a what if spreadsheet. Just give in. Through your tears, imagine a place where you can drop off your basket of pain, fear, and darkness and say, "Here, it's yours," to a kindly soul who will return your emotional laundry in a cleaner, crisper form. But first, you must say, "I surrender." Can we, in our darkest of hours, in the coldest and grossest of days of the year, surrender to the mystery that is unresolved in our hearts? Because there might not be any quick fixes. There might not be any easy answers. And what about in our brightest of days? Even with all of our knowledge and all of our access to knowledge, perhaps what we really need to do is to sit with the questions. Questions like, where is the divine? What can we do to stop this? Why does this moment have to end? How do I make my suffering stop? What do I put my faith in? How might we have more ease in life? How might we find more joy and more awe in the world if we sit with the questions instead of fight for the answers? What would it be like to sit with the things that we know and to sit with the things that we know we don't know and to persevere when the questions are too big to answer? To sit with the awe, the struggle, the wonder, the concern, the beauty, and the conflict, and to just experience it all without seeking to understand the mystery. May the living, breathing creatures that we are feel the breath of life moving in us and through all things, bringing us into greater union with the mysterious universe of which we are a part. There are so many mysterious aspects of our world, from the great distances that the universe spans to the minuscule size of a quark, from the all-encompassing breath of life that we all inhale simultaneously, the collective consciousness that can connect us all in mysterious ways. But also, why is there war? And how do we keep people safe? Where is the love that we know can be big enough to hold every human, every being, and every creature? Is it possible to be kind to ourselves during our own suffering? How do we express the unexplainable love, gratitude, and joy we feel for a loved one? How do we sit with these mysteries? How do we stop seeking answers, stop seeking solutions and ways to remove the discomfort? How do we sit and build our own mysteries? I would encourage you to sit with it and to trust it, to sit with the mysteries of life, recognize them, offer them your joy or your sorrow. Allow yourself to be held by the mysteries that are bigger than you or me or all of us. Be kind to yourself and your struggle. Be kind to yourself and your overwhelming joy. Be kind to yourself as the mysteries wash over you, envelop you, and then thank it for its presence. Thank it for its warnings or its wonder, and then let it go. Surrender. Just surrender. I'd like to end this morning with the words of one more poet about trust. These words are from the Austrian-German poet Rainer Maria Rilke. Have patience with everything unresolved in your heart, and try to love the questions themselves as if they were locked rooms or books written in a very foreign language. Don't search for answers which could not be given to you now, because you would not be able to live them. At this point, and the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps then, someday, far in the future, you will gradually, without even noticing it, live your way into the answers. Thank you. A little benediction of our thoughts and discussions today. We receive fragments of holiness, glimpses of eternity, brief moments of insight. Let us gather them up for the precious gifts that they are, and renewed by their grace, move boldly into the unknown.